Hello and welcome to your first session of your first week. The theme for this week is isolation. We will be isolating the things we normally come across in yoga, and those main things are the breath, the movement, and certain body parts during movement. For this first session, we'll be starting with breath. So before we get started, make sure that you are in a comfortable space, in a position that you might be able to sit in for about 10-15 minutes or so. So I would recommend grabbing a pillow and finding a nice pillow to sit on. And if you want to pop your back against a rest, maybe a wall or a chair, you're welcome to do that. So I am comfortable sitting with my legs crossed, but if you feel like straight legs are a better option for you, feel free to go for it. Pop the pillow underneath your sitting bones, let your legs and your feet relax, and then find some support for your back if you need it. I'm going to go ahead and find my most comfortable spots and give you time to do the same. And then when you are ready and comfy, you can close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath in. And go ahead and just sigh it out through the mouth. And now just allow your normal, natural, day-to-day breath to flow. You might be thinking, I don't even know what that is, but whatever breath just comes to you, let it be. Just find where your breath expands the most. Note, are you maybe breathing in through the nose, through the mouth? Are your shoulders rising as you breathe? Are there any other sensations while you're breathing? Possibly tuning in a bit more and following that journey of your breath as it enters, as it travels down to where it travels down. No right or wrong here, no perfect way to breathe. Literally just following your own breath by focusing on your breath. And you'll notice that your thoughts might come and go and question. Breathing might be new to you. Just continue to feel out your breath, the mind falling on the breath. For the next few moments, feeling out your breath and just continuing with eyes closed to listen to my voice. When I first started doing yoga, I realized that this natural process that we do without thinking, this process of breath, was the thing I least thought of in my everyday life. And yoga kind of introduced me to breathing for the first time, breathing, let's say, properly for the first time. And my wish is to do that for you today. So just taking note of how you are breathing. We call this breath awareness, focusing on the breath. Letting the breath almost tell you your story in the moment. If your breath is a little bit faster, a little bit shallower, you might be feeling slightly rushed or stressed or overwhelmed even. Normally when our breath is a little bit slower, a little bit deeper, we're a little bit more at ease. Noting what your breath is telling you about your current states. In yoga, we can use the breath to note how we are feeling, but we can actually use the breath to alter the way we feel. And this is what I wanted to share with you in our first session today. Really tuning into breathing in a way that works for you and using that breath to bring you ease. So gently opening the eyes. Just again noticing sensations, noticing your state. And now I'm going to show you a nifty little trick that has helped me so much really zone in on breathing in the most optimum way for me. So feel free to look at me here. You are going to take your hands and place them just where your ribs will end. So you can feel that point where your ribs are narrowing down. And then you're going to bring your big fingers to meet here. So hands are just tucking and hugging the bottom of the ribs. And if you go internal, you'll realize that your diaphragm sits there. So we actually use the diaphragm. Well, I love using the diaphragm a lot in breathing. It makes my breathing feel more empowered, and I just feel like I get a lot more oxygen in. So that's why I wanted to share it with you today. And if you can, for a few moments, keep your middle fingers together and just take a full breath in. See if you can rise the belly without letting the big fingers part. So you'll notice it's quite easy, if your breath is like mine, to breathe but not let the ribs come out. So this is actually breathing without the diaphragm. Now imagine where your ribs are, where your diaphragm is. It's almost shaped like a balloon, and you can flare this balloon out by using your muscles a little bit more. So as you breathe in, see if you can expand that space just underneath the ribs to part the middle fingers. So it'll look like this. You get that sensation of ribs moving out because the lungs are so full with air. Taking a full breath in, expanding the ribs if you can. If you can't, it's also totally okay. And then just letting the air naturally fall out. Spending a few more rounds like this. And if you are thinking, Christy, I can't feel anything in there, that's perfectly okay. Just pop me a message and I'd be happy to explain it a little bit more in depthly. But for now, just kind of zone into that area and feel your ribs pressing out because your lungs are so full. And you'll note when you exhale, the middle fingers come back to meet. How does that breath make you feel? I feel energized almost. And we're going to take this to level 2 by taking the pillow, come to lying down, and you're going to place the pillow on your belly. Okay, place your hands back on your ribs, middle fingers touching, and continue with that breath. Get that sensation of oxygen traveling in through the nose, down through the air pipes, into the lungs, filling up the lungs so much, flaring the ribs a little, parting the middle fingers, and on the exhale, middle fingers come back to meet. So this morning it might feel a little exaggerated, it might feel a little bit awkward even. This is not how we always breathe in yoga. I'm just introducing you to maybe focusing on parts in your flow of breath that you can actively engage, actively use to amplify your breath. So let's do that for a few more rounds. Breathing in through the nose, possibly visualizing air traveling down through the air pipes, into the lungs, flaring out diaphragm. You'll notice the pillow rises with you, and on the exhale, the pillow drops. Breathing in, flaring ribs, parting middle fingers, lifting belly, lifting pillow, and releasing. Pillow drops, middle fingers come to touch. Spending a few rounds here, feeling where your breath goes and what that does to your fingers and to your pillow. And then feeling as well as you breathe out. Does the breath feel better breathing out through the nose or through the mouth? Try both. and note which one feels best for you. Continue with that one. And as you continue to breathe, just feeling that pillow rising. You'll notice belly button lifts up and naturally drops down. And this is me tricking you into belly breathing. It's perfectly okay if it doesn't feel normal today. It's perfectly okay if it feels slightly awkward and exaggerated. It's perfectly okay if you're not quite familiar with it. Just get that sense of air coming in and knowing almost where the air goes, past chest to belly. And all I want you to experience today is where we possibly focus on, be it ribs, be it belly, and where we activate, engage our muscles, our diaphragm, our stomach muscles, we create space. When you create space, you take the breath there. So just using muscles actively to create space. Breathing with awareness, noting what we can use to send the breath there. Engaging diaphragm, rising belly, and letting go. 3 more belly breaths here, doing the best you can. Just feeling where you can take your thoughts, engage your muscle, and send the breath. And then just gently let your arm rest at your sides. Make sure you're extra comfy. Keep the belly just underneath the pillow. And spend another 5 breaths or so breathing in, possibly sending breath down to rise the pillow on the inhale. And on the exhale, just feel yourself letting go. Don't force anything. Pillow dropping. Breathing in, lifting pillow. Breathing out, releasing pillow. Inhale, lift. Exhale, it naturally just drops. Now this is just the point for you to note. With these few rounds of fully diaphragmatic belly breathing, or just breathing with a little bit more expression, or just noting where your breath goes. How are you feeling physically? Can you feel your heartbeat? Maybe it's pace. Can you feel that pillow rising? Maybe how much? And dropping. And maybe how much? You're currently lying in what is called Shavasana pose, which is where we end off our yoga practice. And this is a beautiful time at the end of the practice to tune into your breath. And we'll get to that. But sometimes we use other kinds of breathing as well. For now, you're enjoying this belly breathing, engaging the belly, lifting the ribs and dropping. You're welcome to stay here as long as you like. It's feeling like it's soothing you. And that is what I have for you today, is just to be with, note, and enjoy what you can do with your own breath. As I mentioned, you're welcome to stay here for longer. Get familiar with full-on belly breathing. Maybe using your muscles and your diaphragm for the first time in a long time. Thank you for starting this journey with me. And starting with breath. So simple but so significant. I feel so zen, like I can go to sleep right now. For now, I will leave you here. You're welcome to continue if you'd like. As I mentioned, the longer you stay, the better you'll feel. I'll see you in the next video.